How do I, 25F, repair my relationship with my boyfriend, 25M, and his family after what I suggested to his sister, 19F? So I've been in a relationship with my boyfriend, who we'll call G, for about 2 years. He has 3 younger siblings, M, 23M, A, 21M, and T, 19F. All of them are still in college and still live at home with their mom, 55F, and dad, 55M, while my boyfriend and I rent an apartment. This summer they will be celebrating their 30th wedding anniversary in France, where they had their wedding. They plan on getting first-class tickets, a high-end hotel, etc. One night, G and I were supposed to have dinner with his family. While we were at their house, T mentioned how excited she was for this summer and all the things they plan to do in France. As this is an anniversary trip for her parents, I suggested to T she could do her parents a solid and maybe stay back home and out of their hair to give her parents time away from their kids this summer. Or she could maybe pay her own way so her parents could save money. T asked me why she'd give up a trip to France. And I told her it would be a nice gesture for her parents' anniversary. I kept trying to tell her how nice it would be and how her parents would probably thank her for giving them space. At some point, M interrupted us and told me to stop meddling in family affairs, that I was overstepping, and to either apologize for pressuring T or to leave the house. I told him I didn't mean to make anyone upset. But when their dad came into the room and asked them what was wrong, they told him everything. He then asked me to leave his house and said I probably shouldn't come back anytime soon because I was overstepping, and he found it rude that I was making up a problem and pressuring T to solve it. Me and G went back to our apartment, and we haven't been speaking. Where do I go from here? Edit for more info. Info. The others are invited, but they're older, so I assume they can just go do their own thing. Info. I'm not obsessed with their financial situation. I just think it's important that T starts making money on her own, so she can value it more. She's used to getting her hair, nails, and sometimes makeup done and paid for. Not to mention how much product she buys for her hair and sanitary products. It'll hit her hard how much this stuff costs when she's older, so why not start learning that now? Update. Last night, me and my G had a long and serious talk about my comments at the dinner, along with some of my past comments. He told me while in my family, refusing a free trip when you are invited may be seen as noble. In his family, refusing a free trip is seen as stupid. In my family, if someone offers to pay for you, you should always decline no matter what. My parents made me work all throughout high school and always told me I'd have to get a scholarship to help pay for college because they weren't going to do it. It is also a courtesy in my family to not expect help with finances no matter how tough it may get, to only eat one serving at dinner gatherings, to always pay your own way, and we often voice our opinions no matter what they are. He then went into discussing the trip to France. His mother has extended family who live there, so this will not be the first or last time they all go. It will be the first time they explore the area where so even if T wasn't old enough to go off on her own or didn't know her way around or the language, she'd be just fine. And if his mom and dad wanted alone time, she'd be just fine on her own, even if they didn't have family there. When me and G first started dating, and we were talking about our family history, he told me about how his maternal great-great-grandparents moved to America from France. I was under the impression that everyone from his mother's extended family moved, not just the great-great-parents and their children. Apparently, his mother thought my behavior was because I didn't feel welcome by them, and the dinner was to invite me on the France trip as a sort of peace offering. However, after his father caught me trying to sway T, he had enough and decided he couldn't take it anymore no matter what his wife says. He will not tolerate me being around the rest of the family, or in their home, any longer. This came as a shock to the family as his dad doesn't speak much and is usually calm and composed. My boyfriend also showed me his photos from his parents' wedding. It looked like one of the most fairy tale-like weddings I'd ever seen. It was held at Chateau Chalin, and he explained how they plan on renting the space again and flying all of their extended out to celebrate with them because they want to celebrate with everybody and will take time for themselves later on in the summer. I also teared up listening to how his parents met. After graduating high school, his mother spent the summer in France with her family while his dad was visiting along with his older brother. His dad had struggled with cancer nearly his entire life up to that point, and it was supposed to be his dad's last trip before he let himself go because he was tired of all of it. One morning while eating alone at a cafe, he recognized her as the most beautiful girl he's ever seen who spent her time helping out her family with their restaurant, running it like it was the Navy, someone who wasn't afraid to call customers out when they were being unreasonable or just downright rude, and someone who knew exactly what she wanted and how to get it. The complete opposite of him. They spent the day together, which inspired his father to continue his cancer treatment, accomplish his goals, and start taking life more seriously so he could be by her side for as long as she'd have him. His parents always told him and his siblings the only thing in life they value more than each other are their children, and they want to make sure if life ever gets hard for them, they have something to fall back on. He told me he'd be moving back in with his parents until he can find a new apartment. He also revoked my invitation to their family Christmas trip to Aspen, which we were supposed to be leaving for tonight. I feel like I'm in another man video right now. What the F***? CK. On another note, my friend saw my initial post and gave me an intervention. I will be attending therapy for the foreseeable future. May update when I unpack what's wrong with me. Edit for info. People seems to be confused. When I say his father recognized his mother in France, I mean that literally, as they are from the same hometown. Some people also think I'm saying love cured his father's cancer. I was told that it was what made him continue treatment. That's all I was told. I've also gotten comments about the years of the Chateau Chalin becoming a wedding venue and the wedding not making sense. Unless I'm misremembering something, I remember him saying they were married there. Maybe I'm mixing up the locations when he was talking about the wedding venue and the wedding anniversary venue?